Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project Podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. Hey, yo, what the fuck is going on? Today is August 31st. Didn't say October. Hell yeah, 2025, 12:14 p.m. Okay, so I just had this thought. I think it's fucking genius, and I think I just think this is gold, and I definitely need to think about this when designing things from here on out. So if I sell a system and all this shit to a client and I sell it to them, they're using it, I need to have these automations actually take that data and also give it to me. And I would absolutely make sure that the person who's using it is okay with that, which I don't know how I would. I don't know the legality of me seeing the data in the system but not having a copy of my own. So what I mean is, imagine I have, well, even 10. Imagine I have 10 clients, and each of these 10 clients run they all run a very similar operation. Actually, let me back up. I'm making it too complex. Imagine I have 10 clients. All 10 of these clients, they have a team of 10 people. Whatever, doesn't matter. They're all using the system. They're all getting their data, their daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports, you name it. I need to put in these automations a thing that gives me the results or the report for theirs and puts it into a spreadsheet or something, or my own Notion. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And then I can then become the source of all things data. So I can have proof and give other coaches access to these data reports of when a client checks in or when a client renews. Okay, a client's check-in percentage typically is around 80% when they renew. So if you want a client to renew, make sure they hit their check-ins. Simple shit like that. But I would have all of this data compiled into one spot so I could analyze everything and know and see trends, so I could give that back to coaches who are in the system, who are paying, and give them the upper hand, because when they buy into the system, they get access to all these monthly reports and they can see trends from all of the coaching space, so that they know how to optimize everything so that they can make their systems better and get more clients, make more money, change more lives, you name it. So I would then become what do you call it? Just the database of all things coaching or back-end coaching related. I would have all that info. I would be the source of it all. Data is very valuable, and I could even sell the data outright. But I'm not talking about individual client names. I'm not talking about personal information at all. I'm talking about when a client signs up and their onboarding ends within 1 week, the data shows that they are projected to renew within the first 5.5 weeks or whatever. To be able to have that data and have it be proof and have it be like, yeah, I think that would be extremely valuable. My mic is not plugged in. What am I doing? Don't need to have my mic in my mouth. Okay. So, I just had that thought because I'm doing stuff. So how this kind of started is Brian called me, and straight up I was taking a shit when he called me, so I wasn't about to answer. Brian, PT Dom Brian. And so I finished up in the bathroom and called him back, no answer. I said, hey, dude, got your voicemail, what's up? And then he says, He says, "What's up, stud?" New text. Question, new text. If I paid you to solve a problem for me for the MDM students, new text. AKA, I want to teach them how to start tracking their sales better, new text. They all use Calendly, new text. So if we could show them how to use Calendly to zap the calls that get booked into a Google Sheet, new text, could you help with that? And I said, yo, I think I could figure it out if I messed around with Zapier and Calendly. My only dilemma is I have such a limited time at the moment, struggling with that pretty bad actually. I've been working on a massive project for fitness coaches to track over 300 KPIs, almost on autopilot per week and month. I plan on taking this route business and get out of the hourly work I'm doing. And then I thought about it, and I think it was, it was 10 minutes later. I said, you know what, dude, I got you. When do you need a training video or a Loom or something by? And I said, I'll do a step-by-step on everything, and you can disperse that to the MDM legends. He says, you are the man. I'm just driving right now in a fucking Lambo. I'll send you exact instructions when I'm home. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I said, yeah, dude, of course. And then I said, let me give you this one, though. You're already paying me, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be part of PT Dom. Little gift from little B to big B. And the reason why I said that is because I want to build some goodwill. I want to inject some goodwill into this relationship because maybe I'm feeling guilty about wanting to leave, but I want to, if I do choose to leave, absolutely be on great terms. And I just don't want it to be seen as I come into PT Dom, get these connections, and then bounce, but then maintain those connections and continue doing work for them, but not PT Dom. I just think that looks shitty. And I don't want, it looks shitty for sure, but that's not my goal. It's just like I don't have, like I can't be doing this hourly shit anymore. Like I as soon as I get out of the hourly stuff, I'm never going back. And maybe it's like a Zoom call consultation for $200 an hour. I don't know. But yeah, so he wanted to, so the objective here, so when he said this, I was like, that seems so fucking straightforward, but yeah, I got you. So he said, I want to teach them how to start tracking their sales better. If we could show them how to use Calendly to zap calls they get into a Google Sheet, could you help with that? Now, my first thought was, yeah. In my head, I can see how to do it. And actually what I did was I went and made a Calendly account, set up my Zapier and connected things. And it was so straightforward. And I actually have figured it out. So all of this took place at around 11:50 p.m. It is now 12:21 p.m. I figured it out. And I guess I'm being deceitful, but I'm not going to say, hey, dude, figured it out already. We're good. I'm just going to, whenever he needs it by, I'm going to try to get it done by then. And I'm going to make a video and try to make it nice. And then I'm going to give it to him. I don't want him to pay me for it. I'm essentially done. So if he were to pay me for it at the current rate, it'd be $15. Not that I don't want $15, but it's not a big deal. But dude, I don't know. The more the side note. Oh, wait. Let me finish the first thought. God damn. So I do this. I go into Zapier. I start filling the stuff out. I get it to populate into Google Sheets, and no problem. Like I'm done. I figured it out. Time, everything. And looks like the time zones are wrong. All good. But I figured done. And I was like, I could have this exact thing from all the fitness coaches that I help, and I could bring all the results and data into Google Sheets. I do think Google Sheets might be better for just true manipulation of the data and showing percentages, and there's so much more flexibility. That's not even an argument. Notion is nicer. It's a better UI. It's a better experience. It's definitely more, it's built for, I would say, more of a workspace rather than a data hub. Google Sheets, that's what it is. It's a spreadsheet. The whole thing is a database. In Notion, there's, I don't know, dare I say hundreds of different things you could do. So I thought, what if I put all of this into Google Sheets, or even Airtable? I think Airtable is another spreadsheet. What is Airtable? Airtable. I'm just looking at photos of it. It looks, at first glance, it looks like, hold on. Let's actually use some ChatGPT really quick. I'm going to take a little side road. What's the purpose Airtable versus Google Sheets versus Notion. What's the other one? There's another thing. Explain in 3 sentences or less for each. I don't need a goddamn thesis. Okay, Airtable combines spreadsheets with database features, letting you link records, use views, Kanban, calendar, gallery, and build lightweight apps. Google Sheets, best for fast, collaborative number crunching formulas and real-time spreadsheets with simple integrations. Notion is a workspace tool focused on documents, tasks, and databases that are flexible and interconnected, great for knowledge management and workflows. Which would be better for data analysis of thousands of rows of data? You want to analyze thousands of rows. Here's, okay, Google Sheets. You get up to 1,048,576 rows, blah, blah, blah. It supports powerful formulas. The Airtable built. Dude, give me a fucking answer. My pick for thousands of rows. Use Google Sheets if your focus is formulas, calculations, and number manipulation. Use Airtable if you need structure, views, automations, and relational data. Google Sheets scales numeric analysis better. Airtable scales structured data with more flexibility. I love how I didn't even mention Notion in there, because that's good. If it would have said Notion, I would have been like, wait, why? But anyway, so maybe Google Sheets. I don't know. I've heard about Airtable, but I don't know anything about it. But anyway, so I see right in front of me that I can get the data from Calendly to Google Sheets like that. And matter of fact, let me publish this thing that I built really quick. And I'm going to just try it out really quick. So it's on. The Zap is on. So if I go, okay, I'm going to set up a new thing, a new calendar link. And I'm going to send it to myself. And I'm going to book a call. And I'm going to see if it just starts. So 11 p.m. next. Bob Smith. Schedule event. Now let's see if it works without, like, I spent 5 minutes making this. Let's see if it works. Okay, oh, there it goes. It worked. The amount of work that I put into this was absolutely not a goddamn thing. And wait, does Make? Yeah, Make for sure integrates. I want to figure out how to do what I did in Make, but in Zapier. Because now that I understand kind of the structure and what it's looking for, I want to do it in Zapier. But I don't want to go down that fucking rabbit hole again of trying to figure it out, because I couldn't figure it out in Make, and I definitely couldn't figure it out in Zapier. And I don't want to, I don't know. The whole reason why I'm even entertaining Zapier is because there is 7,000 more apps available. Now, I don't need all 7,000. But it does connect to training softwares like Trainerize and Neverfit. And to be able to have the knowledge and have everything integrated already within Zapier, I think that would be powerful as shit, 100%. And I think that might be the route to go. Zapier is much more expensive, but if for the convenience and everything long term, I think that would be great. Not to mention why I even started this episode today was that if I'm getting everybody's data, I'm going to have, even if I only have 15 clients within 2 years, let's just, for example's sake, say they all started whatever, and I don't know, they all started today. 15 clients for 2 years, that's 2 years worth of client data and renewal numbers and the amounts of packages sold and things like that. All that data into one spot, and then to be able to have access to that. So sick, That's definitely when I would need to have a team. Yeah, dude, I don't know. So, I definitely want to do shit in Zapier. I don't want to go down that process, though. Again, I mean, I could probably try to figure it out. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on it, actually, because I don't want to. I have the idea in Make now, and if I can try to do that in Zapier and just mirror that, then that'll be sweet. I'm actually gonna come back to that. I'm already in the middle of something, but anyway, I'm sure I'll be back later, but that's what I got for now. I think this is a genius idea, because if numbers are everything and people pay thousands, if not millions, I'm not talking about coaches, but for data and numbers. And like, that's why companies sell your personal info, right? Like your email, your name, address, sell it to these other companies so they can advertise to you because you're their ideal person, right? That's why they buy the data. It's valuable as fuck. Now, I'm not selling personal info. Go on record and say that. I'm not selling anything personal at all. It's just generalized percentages and formulations and calculations and numbers and stats, metrics, whatever. It's not like Bob Smith, 45 years old, female, 4'13", signed a renewal today. Like, who gives a fuck? Just like client signed renewal after 3 days. Seems like that's the average. Even a basic ass number like that, throughout 2 years of this, how many clients do you think would renew through 10 teams and they all have 200 clients each? We'll just say 300. What is the average amount of days it took for a client to renew before their program expired? Or how many days into the program did they extend for a second time? Or how many days before their end date did they extend? Or what's the average amount? What's the longest? What's the shortest? For all of these, what's the amount that they did? What package did they do? What's the most amount of all of this shit? Fucking data powerhouse, dude, for online fitness coaches. So really, really cool stuff. I definitely have thought of so much shit that I want to build that I need to stop and continue building it before my mind explodes. I've got so many things I want to make, but I just like I have envisioned the Empire State Building, and I'm still working on the kitchen on the first floor. Like, I've got so much shit to do. And the only way to do this is just keep on building the first floor, get people in, say, oh, this is cool. Can I help with the second floor? And then boom, we build the Empire State Building, bada bang, you know? And I just want to go on record and say, not once during all of this am I like, oh, fuck yeah, that's $1 million in my bank account. I think so much into the financial part of it to make money for myself and to survive. After that, it's like, hell yeah. Like, of course I think about like, well, I could buy a Lambo, or I could go to Italy every weekend, or I could whatever. Of course I think about that, but it's not like, yeah, I mean, I could have all this data and I could then do this, and dude, I'd have $10 billion in 5 minutes. Fuck yeah. That's not where my mind is. My mind is so dialed in on, or my focus is so dialed in on just building this shit up. I mean, maybe you can tell from my voice, but I'm fired up about this stuff. I want to build it out and just have this be the thing for fitness coaches. That would be badass. So, anyway, part of me also thinks that I shouldn't say a goddamn word until all this is done, because anybody could just swoop in here, listen to this, grab the idea, take it to their boss. Maybe that boss is they're already running a Trainerize or an Everfit type company, and they just take this, run with it, they implement it. I'm out. They could do that, could very well happen, but whatever. Either way, I've learned so much about this, and I think I've developed a lot of valuable skill sets. Seems like automations are a pain in the ass, and people will hire those out, no problem. So I can definitely do that for businesses. And to the point of Alex or Mosey, it's not it's not the end result that should be the goal. It's who you become in the process. So someone who is XYZ, or someone who possesses the ability to XYZ. And anyway, it's a whole different topic. But anyway, I don't know if Brian will even accept that offer of me doing it for free. I doubt it. And fucking driving a Lambo. Dude, I saw a Lamborghini 2 nights ago. I went to dinner with Lexi. It was for her friend's birthday. And we went to this restaurant, and it's interesting because the restaurant that we went to, it was just some hole in the wall place, wasn't the greatest area. There's a fucking white Lambo just parked out in front, and we walked out of the restaurant, and I looked over and I went, holy, and I looked at Lexi and I'm like, look, and she's like, oh, no, hold on, I'm still talking. And I'm like, no, just look. And she looked over and she's like, what? And I was like, it's a fucking Lambo. And it sure as shit was. So we gave hugs, said goodbye, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, do you want to go look at it? I was like, yep. And so we walked over, and I just goo goo gaga over it. And it's funny because Lexi was like, I think you're going to make the owner nervous if you just stand here looking at it. I'm like, oh, I promise I'm not. This guy probably gets it everywhere he goes. This is so normal for any kind of exotic car driver. She says, really? And I'm like, oh, for sure. And I was kind of standing around it, looking into the restaurant, seeing if I was meeting any eyes, because if I'm owning a Lambo and I see a lot of people outside, I'm probably going to look at them. So if I can meet eyes, if that makes sense to me, that might be the owner. Didn't meet anybody's eyes, so whatever. But I was like, that's a $500,000 car right there, just hanging out. It's so crazy. And it might sound dumb, but the coolest part about that whole experience was getting so close to see the Lamborghini logo on the front of the car, the badge, the emblem. Just seeing that so close. It sounds so dumb. I can Google up an image of the logo and see it even closer. But to see it on a real physical car in front of me, it just made it feel real. It just was like, hey, there's a Lamborghini right here. The only difference is somebody paid for it. I didn't pay for it. Therefore, it's not mine. That's the only difference. The only difference. If I would have paid for it and that would have been mine, I could have gotten in and driven off. Droven. Fuck yeah, dude. Not getting a Lambo with that vocabulary. Droven off with it. And that's the only difference. So, I don't know. Actually, that might be the show. Yeah, that is the show. So, by the time anybody listens to this ever, it'll be September. So, happy September. Move out of my house this month, if you're listening. So, that's exciting. And kind of bittersweet because it's the second longest house I've ever lived in my entire life, ever. Technically not, because technically no, it's probably like third or fourth, but since I was probably 8, it's the second longest place I've lived. First is the home I grew up in. It was 13 years. This one is a year and a half, and it's the second, and that's crazy. So, and I've lived at a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 places since then. This is the second at a year and a half. That's crazy. So, anyway, I don't think there's anything else I want to share. I'm going to continue working on what I'm doing. Just working on polishing things off and making them nice as I go. I have discovered that there's, I hate to say this because it sucks. It's kind of embarrassing, but there's a lot of shit with, for example, Dawson's workspace that's doesn't work. I need to go in and fix it. But I don't want to go in and fix it because I have a solution that I'm building right now, and it wouldn't make sense to spend 5 hours to fix it to then go back in, re-implement. So I'm just going to accept the fact that he or the team might be frustrated with it and it might suck. Same thing with Mina's team. But with time, for sure, it'll be better, and I can just do that one at a time. I just need to give these guys working, what do they call them, MVPs, minimum viable product, the minimum viable product, which is the absolute basis, the foundation of whatever it is, and it works. From there, we can build on it and make it better and polish it off, whatever. But as long as they get an MVP, then I just got to be okay with that. I mean, they're doing me a favor, and if I can just give them something good, and then I'll give them everything once I build it all. It's kind of the exchangement, but exchangement? Is that a word? Exchangement? Exchangement. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm on to something for sure. I just got to continue building because for every hour of work that I do, I think of like 12 hours of work that I need to do to build the thing that I want. So it's, I'm in debt real quick. Anyway, that's it for sure. It's at 12:37 p.m., August 31st, Sunday, 2025. Probably the earliest show I've done in the last year, for fuck's sake. But that's it. That is it. Bye.